What's up, everybody? Welcome to BioS 3 Raw TV. Well, like the title says, there are spoilers in this. So if you're watching this and you don't want to know anything that happens in the new Halloween movie or the ending or anything like that, stop watching now. Because it says spoilers, so I'm not really sure why you clicked on it in the first place. But that being said, I'm a huge Halloween fan. Plain and simple. The holiday, the movie is probably... It's up in the air between the Friday the 13th and the Halloween movies as to which my favorite horror genre is in general. I like Leatherface, I like the Freddy Krueger movies, but those two, for some reason, Jason and Michael Myers, those are the two that I really kind of grew up on and was really, really into. So when this movie was coming out, Halloween 2018, I was just so excited. I'm pumped, and I was like, Jamie Lee Curtis is back in one of the movies before she died. One of the sequels. So I was like, well, that's going to be interesting how the fuck they bring her back if she's dead. And then I was informed that basically this movie is Halloween 2. So the original Halloween 1978, this one is like, you forget everything that happened in the sequels, forget the sequels even existed. This one kind of bypasses and goes right back to be the ending sequel to the original Halloween. Now that being said, it takes place 40 years later. Kind of an interesting concept, because the original Halloween 2 still had Jamie Lee Curtis in it, and it took place the night of, and I think the day after, or it was just the night of, because she gets taken to the hospital on Halloween night, and I believe that she was... Anyways, the bottom line is Halloween 2 had Jamie Lee Curtis in it too, so this is kind of like even bumping that movie with her in out of it. So you kind of got to look at it as there's Halloween, and there's this movie and nothing else. So going into the movie, I knew that. So that was already prepared to not have her reincarnated or whatever the fuck was happening, because she was killed in one of the other movies. But, going into it, I was like, all right, cool. But here's the thing that bothered me probably the most. Michael Myers, they showed him a lot without the mask on. You never really truly see his face. But he looks so fucking old in it. And Jamie Lee Curtis, although she looks older, she doesn't look old. I don't look at her and I think like my grandmother, right? But Michael himself looks like, because I think he was 46. He's supposed to be 46 in the movie, and I'm like, I'm 42. I hope I don't look that fucking old. Somebody's going to be like, yeah, you do, Jay. But I'm just saying, he looks a lot older, I think, than you think of this maniac psycho killer that, is so superhuman strong and can't be killed and all this stuff. He just looks like this old man. So, another thing was his eye. I don't know, in the first movie, did she poke him in the eye or something? I don't know, because... there's supposed to be none in the other movies. So if there's something wrong with his eye in this movie, something happened in the first one, which I can't recall offhand, but I was trying to think through the whole movie. I'm like, what the fuck happened to his eye? Thinking back to the first movie. And, the only real complaints I said, I would probably give it an 8 out of 10 for, enjoyment. It wasn't super scary. It wasn't, I think they had more mysterious kind of jumpy stuff in the first movie. And since nobody had ever seen it before, it was scarier. Now this was literally a continuation of the first movie. It literally was a complete, the feel of it, everything is like the first movie. But it was really slow in the beginning. It starts out, it's really slow. They see Michael in the fucking thing, and then they have the mask. It's why do those people have the mask? It just, those things, there was things that they did that would be so inappropriate in real life, it's not believable. Some random journalist is going to go get this killer's mask, which is, at a museum somewhere, and then bring it to him. It was kind of far-fetched from the jump, but yeah, a couple of the twists and turns were cool in it, but I didn't really like the doctor turning on everyone and trying to be like, we need to keep him alive to study him. Fuck, that was fucking stupid, because he gets killed 2 seconds later. And then, the whole way that, they left it again. This is supposed to be the final one. No more. It's done. It's over. Well, if you don't want to know about the ending and you already heard the other shit, shut it off now. Just shut it off. The way they left it, you don't see him die, right? They set the house on fire, and you hear ding, 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 ding. You hear the fucking music, and you see the cage where they had locked him in the basement, and then they go in the basement with the camera, but you never see him. You never see him burning. You never see him on fire. You never see him fucking laying down dead. You just see the outside of the house burning. They're in the truck driving down that dirt road to get away, and you never see him die. And I'm like, motherfucker, you guys said this was supposed to be the last one. It's the final one. No more ever. No sequels. This is it. It's done. And you guys leave it open-ended. And I'm like, either that's the most brilliant fucking thing I've ever seen in my life, because it's the last one, but it's open-ended, and you're going to wait until you fucking get buried in the ground before you realize there's not another one coming out, or they're setting it up for another one to come out. They're trying to bypass all the movies and say, hey, we're going to start the franchise over somehow. But Yeah, quick little thing. If you guys are actually Halloween fans, you know that Halloween 3 had nothing to do with Michael Myers. It was about this radio show that sent out radio waves, and the kids that were, I mean, a TV show that sent out radio waves, so the kids, it would make them like insane. They would, anyways, but it had 3 masks on that movie. Like, that's the whole thing. Like, the whole advertisement for Halloween 3 is this pumpkin mask. So they have a pumpkin, a witch, and a skeleton mask. Now, in the new movie, if you see where they first see Michael Myers, when Jamie Lee Curtis first sees Michael Myers, and she's chasing him, and she shoots him in the shoulder, and she goes out there and he disappears, and you see this, you know, the police car pull up. You'll see 3 kids with their parents, and they're going, go home, go home, go home. They're telling everybody, go home, get in your houses. And the kids run by. One kid was wearing the witch mask, one was wearing the skeleton, one was wearing the pumpkin. I thought that was pretty cool because that movie really had nothing to do with Michael Myers, but that actually ties in the 3rd movie into it, which I thought was completely badass. And I know a lot of people probably won't get that Easter egg that they put in there, but I thought it was pretty cool. So all in all, I mean, I had a good time with it. I mean, I was not as impressed as I thought it would be. I thought it would just be different. I don't know how. I thought it would jump more. There'd be more new, you know, surprises. And since we have all this technology now, just somehow make it scarier. And what they did was film it exactly like they did in the 70s. So it's filmed the same angles, the same way. It even looks like the same, you know, like the same towns. It's like exactly the same. So it kind of, you know, they didn't really go to, I think, you know, put as much effort in as I think there could have to give you some more scares, maybe some newer like graphics or something, or computer generated graphics and stuff like that. But overall, 8 out of 10. I would see it one time. I wouldn't go see it again. If it's on cable, I'll watch it, but I watch all the other stupid ones too, including number 3. But all in all, guys, I think it's worth going to see. If you're a Halloween fan, and to be able to see it in the big theater, which I've never seen an actual Halloween movie in the theater, it was pretty cool to do. So check it out, guys. It came out today, the 19th of October, and yeah, it wasn't even sold out, so it'll be there for a while. But obviously, trending@gmail.com. Leave comments down below, but don't fight. And if you've seen the movie, comment down below. www.bicetraining.com is the blog. It's the Michael Myers bicep. Not really, and we are